everyone, and welcome to night 2 of College Fashionista Creators Loft. My name is Windsor Western, and I am one of the co-founders of Her Campus Media, and I am absolutely delighted to be here with our star, our guest this evening, Jalea Harmon. Jalea, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Jalea Harmon. I'm from Atlanta. I'm 16 years old and I'm just very excited to be here.
Well, we are so excited to have you as well. So this is day 2 of College Fashionista's Creators Loft for fall 2021. And our topic tonight is how to run a business on TikTok, presented by Lulus. So our first conversation is going to be with you, Jalea Harmon. Jalea was our Her Campus cover star over the summer, and we are absolutely delighted to have her back to talk about being an original creator and running a business on TikTok. So Jalea, we want to know all about how you've launched your career as a choreographer on TikTok, what you've learned so far, and we've got some great questions today. So before we get into it, I just want to remind our entire College Fashionista community, first up, hello, I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome to Creators Loft, welcome to day 2. And please remember to post tagging Lulus and College Fashionista, which the handle is @CFashionista, and use hashtag Creators Loft to join in on the conversation on social. So Jalea, let's get into this. So you are a TikTok phenomenon. And what I want to know, you are 16 years old and you've been doing this for a minute. So did you always intend to start a business when you started posting dance videos on TikTok, or was it just for fun?
Let's get into this. Well, I started posting TikToks, because it's just what I love to do. And I had no idea it would get, a larger audience, but I'm really thankful that it did because it's brought me so many opportunities. So, yeah.
That's amazing. What was the most unexpectedly fun thing about starting a TikTok business?
Well, starting my business, it's really just been, continuing what I love to do. And it's given me, like I said, so many opportunities, from appearing in different music videos, working with some of my favorite brands, just different stuff like that, meeting new people that I love, meeting people that I inspire. And it's been really a lot of fun on the way.
That's amazing. It can't all have been fun though. So what has been the most unexpectedly challenging thing that you've come across?
Well, usually everything was like in the beginning when I first started, getting a good amount of followers, everything was like coming at me really fast. And I wasn't used to that at all. So it was just like a lot of, opportunities, stuff that I wasn't used to, being interviewed, traveling a lot. So yeah, that was part of the challenging part.
So how quick was the rise? Like how fast did it happen? You said it came at you really, really fast.
So like once the news article, the New York Times article came out, everything was just like, people were texting me, emailing my mom off of my social medias and stuff. And yeah, I just had to keep telling her. She told me that we had to, fly out to Chicago. One Saturday I was at dance. So it was just a lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
That's so exciting, but I can see it being really kind of scary and overwhelming at the same time. Jalea, as an original creator, you have built a massive audience on TikTok and other platforms, and I'm sure you have a ton of opportunities coming your way. So how do you choose which opportunities you want to pursue?
So a lot of the time I pull my inspiration from dances and choreography that I've been doing in the past. And I just, like being in the moment and trying to, tie them together with my brand so I can make goals for the campaign. And, I just love collaborating with, brands like Lulus and just a lot of stuff like that.
Awesome. So how do you pick which ones, like how do you know which ones to say yes to and which ones to say no to?
Really, I think it's just whatever feels right to me or, whatever I find that's, feels like me or that's catches my eye in some way. And yeah, I think that's really how I choose.
Because it needs to feel organic to you.
Yeah, it needs to feel like real organic, like normal, something that I would, do on a normal basis.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think that's so important, right? I mean, if you are on TikTok and people follow you on TikTok because they love you, and they want to see what you're up to and what you're doing. So if you work with brands that don't feel natural to you, your audience is going to notice that. Your audience is going to be like, oh, something seems off here, right? But if you're working with brands that you love and brands that fit in with your brand, as a choreographer and as a dancer, then it kind of that magic really happens.
Yeah.
The hashtag Lulus Original Challenge that you partnered with us on is all about empowering dynamic young creators like yourself, and you choreographed the coolest dance for it. So why don't we check it out?
When I stroll up in my Lulus, got every single boy saying, how does you do, Jalea? And they all wanna know what I'm made of, but it's just me, don't know what to tell you. I know I got it, I don't know what to tell you, boy. What can I say, I'm original. I know I got it, I don't know what to tell you, boy. What can I say, I'm original.
Jalea, I loved that. I thought it was so fun.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I tried to do it and I was like, no, I cannot dance like Jalea. It's not me, but I absolutely loved it and loved watching you and loved seeing everyone else participating in the hashtag Lulu's Original Challenge. So how did you bring your perspective, or how do you bring your perspective into the creative process when you're working with a brand?
So really, I just try to, trust my instincts and, see what, people might find interesting or people might find, appealing to them or entertaining or fun. Like, oh yeah, that's a cool challenge. I want to do it for myself, and I just try to, connect with my audience more than, just try to think of me doing it and try to, see what people are actually interested in.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, you were so involved in the development of the Lulu's Original campaign, and it was really fun to see that collaboration process. So a lot of the College Fashionista audience that's here tonight, they're creators just like you. So what advice would you give them? What advice would you give other creators who are balancing their content creation work and other commitments like, school?
Mm-hmm. So, at the end of the day, I just feel like social media should be fun. You don't always have to be on social media, but you can find ways to make social media what you like to do. And, don't ever extend yourself to the point where you stop enjoying what you loved in the first place. Just do what's always true to you and what you feel like is, for you. So, yeah.
I love it. Social media should be fun. I think that's something we should remember. I think we forget that often. It becomes stressful and high pressure, but yes, social media should be fun. So how do you stay true to yourself and how do you stay authentic among the pressure that I'm sure is overwhelming to get bigger and try this or try that, or if you do this, maybe you'll get more followers? How do you stay true to yourself and resist that?
So luckily I have a really great community around me that doesn't, put too much pressure on me to be one thing or be another thing. And, I try not to read too far into negative comments when they come through too, because sometimes that bothers me, but the support from my family and friends, they've always been real to me and, they always get me through it. So, yeah.
That's amazing. I can't imagine where any negative comments would come from, but it's hard, right? I feel like no matter who you are, they're going to be haters. No matter what you're doing, they're going to be haters. So, yeah, is your advice just don't read them?
Yeah, I mean, I would, yeah, but I have my notifications on, so sometimes I see them, but I try to ignore it and just okay, because at the end of the day, I know it's not really gonna do anything to me.
Right.
I don't really, it doesn't really bother me, but I just don't like seeing them. But yeah.
Of course not. No, of course not. Now, Julia, is there anything about you that you wish people knew outside of what they see on your TikTok videos?
Well, outside of my TikTok videos, people should know, I'm just, like you said, a down-to-earth person. I'm real chill. I just like to be a normal teenager. Sometimes I do like to be, business professional, but at the end of the day, I'm really fun to hang around. I feel like I'm a great friend, I'm loyal. Yeah, I just feel like I'm a good person at all.
I love that. What's next for you professionally and personally? Is there anything else that you want to try? I mean, first off, you're 16, so there's a lot. It's a big future, big bright future ahead. But are there other things that you want to try beyond choreography?
Yeah, well, I do have a few projects in the works that I can't really talk about yet, but yeah. So in addition to that, I want to, just get through high school and, just be the best daughter and the best big sister I could be.
That is amazing. Well, Jalea, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this Q&A today. It's been so fun, so incredible to watch your journey and to watch you continue to grow and evolve as a creator and as a choreographer and as a person. So I just want to say thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's so fun. And thank you so much for partners at Lulus for my outfit and Jalea's outfit, and for partnering with us to make today possible and to make tonight possible. So everyone here, please keep an eye out after this event for an email. It's going to be directly to you with an exclusive Lulus discount code. So we're going to email you each individually after the event with your own exclusive Lulus discount code. So definitely check that out. Definitely use it. You don't want to miss that email. And remember, as you're sharing the rest of the event today, the rest of the event this week, post tagging Lulus and College Fashionista and use hashtag CreatorsLoft to join in on the conversation. And be sure to check out lulus.com for the coolest new fall fashion trends. They have some amazing boots, some sweaters, some sweater dresses, some date night tops, and vegan leather pants, and so much more. So definitely head over to lulus.com to check them out. Now we're going to hear from 3 more amazing original creators in a series of rapid fire talks, and they're going to answer your questions live. So stick around.
Thank you so much to Jalea and Windsor. That was so insightful. Hi everyone, I am Kate Day and I'm the managing editor of College Fashionista. I am so excited to be here today. Next up, we are going to hear from 3 different creatives who are TikTok and business experts in their own unique ways. They're each going to have 3 minutes to give us their best tips and tricks for running and growing your business on TikTok. Then, after the 3 of them give their rapid fire presentations, they're going to join me back here for a live Q&A. Be sure to drop your questions in the chat and we might answer them live. So without further ado, let's hear from our amazing speakers.
My name is Clara Guillaume. I'm 25 and I am a full-time content creator on TikTok at Clara and Herself. My content is usually about mental health, body confidence, and a lot of other stuff that I care about. I'm really happy to be here today with Lulus, who really value authenticity and originality. So in terms of TikTok, people often ask me how I got big on TikTok or how I got started. And honestly, it was a mix of having a huge passion for what I'm talking about and also like having a lack of fear that others would watch me and judge me, because at the time there weren't a lot of people using the app, at least not a lot of people that I knew. So that anxiety of, are they going to judge me? Are they going to watch me potentially fail? And, that kind of feeling wasn't there. So it really allowed me to be fully authentic, because I think that a lot of times the fear of being judged is really our biggest obstacle in the way of success. So when you do get to that place of success, especially on social media, people will always dislike something, and this is never a reflection of you. When you're really authentic and true to yourself, this leaves you more vulnerable to hurtful comments, right? Because it's a lot more hurtful to hear, I think your ideas are bad versus I don't like your outfit. And this can make it really easy to kind of shy away from what you really care about. It can make you, more likely to want to just mimic others because that's a safer choice, or just participate in trends that are already doing well because then you'll be less likely to get critique. But you have to always remember that people don't want to see what others are already doing, because they're there because they see value in you. They like your business, your brand, your content, whatever it is you're doing. So it's really not fair to yourself to your own light because it's too bright for others. There's also a lot of pressure in measuring success, no matter what it is that you're doing in life. I know for me personally, sometimes I feel like I always have to be growing or doing really well. But realistically, success comes in ups and downs. So failing once or twice or 15 times does not take away all of the times that you've succeeded and done so well. And you should always be proud of yourself for the little steps. So I hope this inspires you to take original, because that will always be the path of highest reward for yourself as well as for your audience. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gabby Bradford. I'm co founder of Song Candy, a first of its kind creative agency and music production studio specializing in creating breakthrough TikTok campaigns and original music for brands. I'm sure we've all experienced the TikTok phenomenon, whether I'm trying to recreate Emily's famous salmon rice or adding another Little Nas X song to my Spotify playlist. I can't deny that TikTok has influenced all parts of my life. So, what's interesting from a business perspective is that TikTok has radically shifted consumer behavior, going from scrolling through your feed in essentially sound off environment to making music and sound a central part of the storytelling experience. And TikTok is also influencing cultural trends and driving music discovery. So it's no coincidence that today's top artists like Little Nas X, Doja Cat, and Olivia Rodrigo all skyrocketed to the top of the Billboard and Spotify charts after their songs went viral on the platform. And music is a huge white space opportunity for brands and even content creators to catapult their message to the masses. There's something that's specifically unique to music, and that's the fact that it can get stuck in your head. I know it happens to me all the time. And this is what's referred to as an earworm, or as I like to call it, sticky music. And at Song Candy, what we do is help brands harness the power of sticky music to create a billboard in the minds of their consumers, where it lives rent free, of course. By taking a music driven approach, what you're really doing is entertaining instead of interrupting the consumer experience. And that's a formula that's inherently built into the TikTok platform. And that's exactly what we did when we partnered with Lulus and her campus to celebrate original creators by collaborating with the legendary TikTok star, Jalea Harmon, that we just saw. And that was the video and song that played at the top of the session. Taking inspiration from Jalea's favorite musical artists like Doja Cat and Normani, we wrote and produced a custom branded song that represents her originality and passion. And then, as you guys saw, Jalea choreographed an original dance to the song that launched the hashtag Lulu's Original TikTok Challenge. Creators joined in on the challenge, where it was amplified by Jalea and her campus influencers, massing over 13 million hashtag views and over 230 video submissions to date. And in fact, during the campaign, Lulu's experienced an influx of new Gen Z shoppers to their site, indicating that the TikTok dance challenge and original Lulu song helped inspire consumers to shop. So hopefully I've sold you on the power of using music to grow your business. And now you might be wondering how you can get started with a music driven approach to your own content on TikTok. So I'll leave you with 3 best practices that you could follow. First is lean into trend driven campaign ideas. So, this might be emulating trends that are native to the platform to produce highly shareable content. That might be challenges, life hacks, tutorials, the list goes on. Second, take a sound centric approach to storytelling by using music that complements your brand and adds another layer of personality to your content. You could work with a TikTok music creator or a specialized agency like ourselves to create an original song that helps capture attention and create brand affinity. At Song Candy, what we do is take it an extra step by taking a look at what is trending in the music charts, whether it's TikTok, Spotify, so that we can make sure that the music we're creating is going to be on trend for the platform. And lastly, launch with a creator led strategy. So, creating content that's engaging and authentic instead of trying to make traditional ads can better speak to your brand and even spark a social trend. And you want to focus on creating awareness among those you want to reflect and engage with, and create content that feels authentic to your brand. You could also use the scaled influencer strategy or launch a hashtag challenge. That's a great way to take your marketing to the next level. So I hope you found these tips on taking a music first approach to TikTok helpful. You can find me at the handles below if you have any questions or would like to chat. And thank you guys so much for having me.
Hi guys, I'm Nia J. I'm a 21-year-old makeup artist. I'm a multi-hyphenate. I model, I'm a makeup artist, and I'm also an influencer. You can check me out, the handles below. Earlier this year, I got started on TikTok. It actually started as a way to promote my makeup business, but it actually ended up expanding my horizons into fashion, modeling, and just it became a platform where I could basically express myself in like a humorous way, but like in a fun way. Cause on Instagram, I don't know, but the vibe on Instagram isn't as open and authentic as it is on TikTok. So yeah, the first thing that I want to let you guys know about running a business on TikTok is that the most important thing is to have fun. Start with your passions and be authentic with it. I think people on TikTok can really tell when you're being authentic and they really like that. So yeah. Uh, Another thing is you want to be able to engage with your audience. People on TikTok, they love when companies love when, sorry, I'm getting nervous, but companies love when you engage with your audience. That's what a lot of brands look for, is the engagement on your page. They love to see that you're commenting back. They love to see that you're talking to your followers, and they love to see that your followers are actually having a real relationship with you. Also, another thing is you want to make sure when you're on TikTok that you kind of listen to your audience. I've noticed that when I create videos that my audience likes and I continue to create and go further with that, it brings more exposure to my page. So for example, I had a few videos that were about monochromatic fashion, and they would go viral, and I would make sure that I would market on that. So those videos really worked on my page, so I would continue to do this page, and it really helped grow my page. I realized that some of the things that I would do with makeup, they wouldn't grow my page as much. So my point with that is to basically just say, listen to your audience and engage with them. Your audience will tell you what works for you. So yeah, and another thing is when you're building a business on TikTok, you want to make sure that you have good communication with your brands. You want to make sure you have a media kit together and you're prepared to work and communicate with everybody. And yeah, but most importantly, when you're on TikTok, you want to make sure that you're just having fun. Just have fun with it and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because it's supposed to be fun. And yeah, that's all I got.
Wow, thank you so much, everyone. That was amazing. I know I just learned so much and was definitely taking notes. Hope you all in the audience were as well. I have some questions for our panelists, so why don't we just dive right in? This first one may be more applicable for Clara and Nia, but Gabby, if you want to jump in as well, definitely feel free to do so. So, do you all read your comments or do you ignore them altogether?
I would love to say that I don't read my comments. That's definitely the healthier thing to do. But I definitely read almost every single comment on my page. It's not good for me for sure, but it just kind of is how it goes when I'm really concerned with like what my audience thinks, or, if everything that I'm saying aligns with them. So
For
So
sure.
for
I can definitely
me,
see how this is. You go, Nia.
yeah, for me, I read my comments a lot. I haven't got too much backlash yet, but I actually like to respond to the comments. I like to make sure that I'm talking to almost everybody in the comments. I think it makes them feel a little bit more involved and like loved and stuff. So yeah.
For sure. I definitely see how there's probably like a positive and a negative to reading comments, but I'm sure you want to be able to like talk to your audience and get to know them, and the comments are where to do that. Gabby, do you have any opinions on that question?
I don't personally create content myself, but do it a lot on the behalf of brands. And I think from a brand perspective, there's always haters in anything you do. So I think, it's good to read all the comments just to understand how your content is being perceived from a brand perspective. But I think from a personal perspective, I've heard a lot of creators talk about, wanting to preserve their mental health. So I definitely second what Clara and Nia said.
Next one will work for all of you. So, how do you decide on a balance between participating in trends or making original content that's unique to you?
So I basically just try to experiment on my page. I haven't really hopped on any trends yet, but I like to just kind of experiment and then see like what my audience likes, and I kind of just go with that. But I
Gabby,
do
what
like
about
to use
you?
trendy songs.
Well, I'll jump in. I think, for us from a brand perspective, and if we're working with any influencers like we did with Jalea, where we kind of were coming up with our own trend and challenge is really important for us and the influencer to be on the same page and feel like, we're the work that we're doing, creating music or even coming up with the campaign concept feels very native to, what they're doing and what their followers expect to see from them and love to see from them. So I think, just trying to stay true to who you are when you're creating new trends is important. And then, there's always great ways to jump on trends. TikTok is all about trends. So I think, I've seen some brand accounts do really good jobs of like making their own version of, a viral recipe or, taking a song and kind of making it their own. So I think you always want to kind of put your own spin on it.
Absolutely. And Clara, what about you?
I sometimes like to do like a sweep through my page and like just be like going through and see how long it's been since my people have heard my voice. That's usually what I do. I'm just kind of like, okay, like obviously doing trends is a lot of times, more fun and, it can be something that's a lot easier to do on a day-to-day basis. It's really difficult to come up with something completely original on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I usually just kind of like sounds so lame, but like watch my own videos and like figure out where I'm at.
No, I could absolutely see how that helps. I'm sure, like, you're posting so much, so you want to make sure your audience sees a little bit of everything. That's awesome. So, what do you guys do when you work so hard on a TikTok and then it flops?
I get sad about it. I get sad, but I let myself be sad and then I just move on. I just scrap it up and like I let it move on because it might not get a lot of notoriety in itself, but the next time that one of your videos goes viral, it'll get the recognition that it was supposed to get. So yeah.
For sure. And
I
I know
agree.
sometimes too, like, oh, you go, Clara.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know sometimes like TikToks will like pick up a second wind almost, and like they'll start doing well like weeks after you make them. So while it may feel like a flop, maybe one day it'll pick back up again.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, honestly, like, yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Glad we're all on the same page. Gabby, do you have anything?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's like trying to have a test and learn mentality about it, right? It's like, okay, maybe my audience didn't respond to this type of, content, but like, was there a little nugget in there or something that I could tweak, to do differently for next time that they really liked? And, obviously there could be some, not so great comments, but sometimes people take to the comments and give you some, advice that could, you know, act as inspiration for your next video. So I think, taking kind of crowdsourcing what your followers want to see could be helpful too.
Amazing. That's such good advice. I will definitely keep that in mind when working on CF TikToks. I'm definitely going to think about that one. All right, so I have a few music-specific questions for Gabby. The first is, how do you recommend defining your personal brand with the music you're choosing for your content when you have music taste that kind of spans genres and artists?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think if it's for yourself, like if you're a creator, it's really trying to like hone in on like what is your personal style. And I know for me, I like a lot of different, music genres. So I think it's okay to kind of have content that's a little, in different genres because it's showing off your personality, right? From a brand perspective, I think if you're, have a business or you're working for a brand, you want to think consumer first. So it's, we help our brands take a look at like, okay, if your, audience is primarily women who are like Gen Z or millennials, like let's take a look at what music they like to listen to, and create content or source music that's, going to appeal to them. So instead of trying to come up with music that might not resonate, like maybe they're not listening to so much of this genre, but love Olivia Rodrigo and Lizzo, right? So let like go in that direction.
Awesome. That is great advice and definitely helpful, I'm sure, for our audience. So, how do you guys recommend getting more people to see your business or your brand on TikTok?
For me, I would say really stick to your niche. I feel like with TikTok, if you start to reach into too many different pockets, the algorithm won't pick up what you're trying to get out and share it to the right people. So really like sticking to your niche. Like for me, it's like all beauty and fashion. So I try to stay there. And then that way, like I'm always targeting like people who like fashion and beauty.
Awesome. What about you, Clara?
Um, I don't know. My thing is like I care more about the message, So sometimes I just try to remind myself if like I have a video that has, a low number of views or something, it's more to me about like the impact it has on the people that did see it. So I try to really, really not think about the numbers and think more about, the community and the impact I can have on even just like one person's day. It can obviously be a little frustrating, like we were saying earlier, if you try really hard and then a video doesn't do well, like sometimes in those situations, I'll just reanalyze and think about the message that I'm trying to send out and kind of analyze and see if there's a different way to wrap it up in a TikTok that could maybe appeal to more people and reach more people.
I love that. That is awesome, I'm sure, for everyone to keep in mind. What about you, Gabby?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Mia and Clara both said. I think, with especially thinking about like organically reaching people on TikTok, there's so many like TikToks, right? Like skin talk and book talk. And so I think it's like finding your niche and like obviously you can always branch out if you want, but that'll help really hone in on like who wants to follow you. So identifying a couple of those areas that you could create content with will help get your content seen.
Amazing. All right, so we're moving on to some audience submitted questions. So the first one is for everyone, and that is, how do you find the right work-life balance when you're working in social and like always plugged in, always have your phone on you?
I think this is something that's really difficult. I catch myself like out with my friends on like a Friday night and like I'm still, on my phone working. And so one thing I do really like is having like a space. Like I have my office that is designated for work. So if I'm going to be scrolling through TikTok for, content ideas or to interact or whatever, I like to just do it in a specific space. That way I don't, mix up my living room where I go to relax or my bedroom with my workspace.
That's such an awesome tip. Definitely something I need to work on, but I love that tip. I love it in theory. I definitely don't practice it, but I'm trying. What about you, Nia?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Nia.
I feel like I kind of take the same exact approach. Like I like to have a certain environment where I'm like in work mode, and then when I'm there, I want to go into fun mode. And I really do try to like run it like a business. So from like 9 or from 10 to 4, like that's when I'm like honed in on like work. And then after that, I'm like, okay, like I'm out of this space. And I really like to turn my phone off like when I'm not working anymore and just be in the moment and just be present because it's important to.
Yeah,
And what about you,
I was
Gabby?
gonna say the exact same thing. I feel like it's so important to set boundaries with work because, at least for myself, I've worked in social media for quite a long time, and it is, it just never stops. And I think I have to remind myself that no matter how much I'm on my phone, how much time I dedicate to it, I may miss a trend or there's no way for me to see everything on the platform. So, just like setting boundaries of like, this is my work time. And then this is time that I'm going to take for myself to rest, decompress, like hang out with my family and friends. That's so important.
Right, boundaries are definitely so important when you work in social or really at any job. Amazing. All right, so our next question is for Clara. I know your TikToks really like help a lot of people in the body image community, and they are you're so important to so many people in that community. How do you deal with hate when it's centered around you and those videos?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Because I've had some really tough situations with people coming onto my page and specifically saying things about my body because they know that's, a way for them to do a lot of harm. Comment filters are amazing. I mean, I don't know if everyone knows this, but you can go on TikTok. I have any body descriptors completely blocked out. Tall, short, I don't care what it is. Like I have those completely blocked out so I never have to see a comment. And ever since I did that, I don't think I've seen a negative comment about my body or a positive one because sometimes people might think that they're making a positive comment about your body and it might, affect you in a certain way. So I would say for whatever it is you're doing on social media, having comment filters on is a really good idea.
That is such an awesome piece of advice. I've personally like never even thought of that, but that's amazing to hear. All right, so our next question is probably more so again for Nia and Clara. How do you make people take you seriously as a content creator since it's a fairly new field and there are quite a few people out there who don't think social media is a job? Nia, do you want to start us on this one?
Sure. So I kind of take it as a compliment, like when people don't think that it's a job, because it's actually really fun, and I think that you should have fun with it. And I feel like I'm very much a part of Gen Z or X, and like I'm a part of that group who like I don't feel that pressure to constantly feel like I need to be working and like constantly like overwork myself. So I take it as a compliment, and I just kind of let time do its work. Like in time, they will see that like I'm gonna make money from this. It's a real job. It brings opportunities. So I just kind of have that mentality, and I just kind of let the work speak for itself and just keep it pushing over here.
I love that.
Thanks.
What about you, Clara?
Yeah, so before social media, I was getting my PhD, and so I was really obsessed with like a lot of external validation in my career and kind of people believing that I was working really hard, people believing that I was really smart and successful. And I feel like I've just like kind of let go of that. If someone doesn't want to think my job is real or like take it seriously, it's not really my problem anymore. I know I work hard. I know my team works hard. And it's kind of, I mean, usually if people are saying that straight up to you, it's because they don't like their own job. So just take it lightly.
That is such great advice. All right, one for all of you. What is it like either collaborating with influencers or as an influencer behind the scenes? Is it like always what it looks like on social media or can that be different?
So I'll start.
Nia, do you want to start?
For me, yeah. So for me, um, it definitely can get like stressful, especially when you're trying to when you're making a TikTok and you're trying to do multiple takes of the same thing. You can get frustrated behind the scenes. Like it's so much more work than people think. Like trying to make one 15-second video can actually end up taking like 3 hours, and it can get stressful. But I really do try to just have as much fun as possible, because if you're having fun with it, it'll just be more of an enjoyable experience. So I really just try to keep having fun.
Definitely, that's super important. Gabby, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I can go. So coming from the side of the brand, working with influencers, I think, the success that I've seen happen is when it's a true collaboration and partnership. So instead of the brand saying like, "Hey, here's this super detailed brief in terms of like, we want you to say X, Y, and Z things." They almost give you like a script. It like comes off not feeling authentic at all. And so I'd say, as a brand, go and look for influencers that maybe are, naturally gravitating to your brand, or fans of your brand that have the following that you're looking for. And also just let them like give them the creative freedom, especially on TikTok. Like, they're experts for a reason. They have followers for a reason. So it's like, give them the prompt, and make sure that they're like doing what you're asking them to do, which is help promote your product or service, but let them do it in their own way.
Right, that's awesome. I feel like it's so important to put trust into the creators that are making the content for your brand. Amazing. What about
Absolutely.
you, Clara?
I think that that was amazingly put. I think that's super important. I think good collaborations always come from, respect from mutual parties, and just kind of like understanding that. Um, I mean, from the influencer side of things, I love it when brands, understand that I have like my own, creative ideas and what's going to be best for both of us. And it's always great to, work with brands that you really care about or that you might already use. That's like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, I think everything was just so well put.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right, we have one last question for the night. This is a fun one. So, what is everyone's must have item for fall?
So for me, it's boots or sweater dresses. I'm wearing a sweater dress right now. I love it because I like pieces that are just one piece, and then you just put accessories over it and then you just go. So for me, it's sweater dresses and boots.
Love that. Clara, what about you?
I love stuff like this, like little like light, this little light sweater is so adorable. I live in Florida now, so I don't do much of like hats and boots anymore, but so just like light, cute, colorful stuff.
Love that. And what
Yeah.
about you, Gabby?
For me, fall and like winter, I really like wearing a lot of black, black clothes. So I think this, have this from Lulus. I was on their site; they have so many like cool like jackets and things like that. So yeah, just anything like kind of like darker toned really makes me feel like fall.
I could not agree with more with you on that. I'm like always wearing black and also always wearing faux leather. So I feel like that's my fall must have.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, guys. This has been so fun. This is all the time we have for questions today. But again, thank you to Clara, Gabby, Nia, and thanks again to Windsor and Jalea. We just want to say a huge thank you to our partners at Lulus for making today possible. Don't forget to keep an eye out on your inbox for an exclusive Lulus discount code. For everyone at home, we would love for you to share your feedback with us today. Tag Lulus, See Fashionista, and Creators Loft when you post. And also don't forget to follow College Fashionista on TikTok. Thank you all so much for another amazing night of Creators Loft. Be sure to join us at the same time tomorrow for a conversation on inclusivity in the beauty industry. Thanks, guys. Bye.